Hi, everyone. I'd like to explore a question that came in this month. And the question is, things are going great. Things are opening up in my life. All the things I've wanted for a long time are starting to happen. And I've heard that when you go outside the comfort zone of your familiar life, sometimes you start to sabotage the good things. And I'm afraid I'm going to start sabotaging. What do I do to stay in the flow? Should I simply relax? Okay, so I'd like to explore this idea of going with the flow. Going with the flow. Often implicit in this idea is that when we go with the flow, we get the things that we want. Life goes better. Life goes better and better. So here's another idea that I'm going to use as a starting point for the reflection. And this is the idea that we do not own the flow. We do not own a personal flow. My flow is not my flow. The flow is not my flow. Yeah. The image that I often use is that life is like a river. It flows. There is a source that is the source of the river of life. And all rivers flow to the sea. So there's really one happening of a river. There's an origin source that expresses, the source of the river expresses itself as a river that flows to the ocean. There's never any other destination. It's always the ocean. When I say we don't own the flow, owning the flow would be having a very set idea about what you think you want. And usually when we have a set idea of what we want, our idea is that what we want is right, is good for us, is going to feel good, is going to be good. In that case, if we start to feel that we are in the flow because things start to happen that we've had in mind for what we want, things start to happen, so we then go, oh, I must be in the flow, then it makes sense to then think, well, what do I do to keep in the flow? What do I do to control this relationship with the flow? How do I stay in the flow? How do I control things to stay in the flow? How do I not sabotage? What do I do instead? Do I just relax? What do I do to control staying in the flow? The image of life being a river is that there is no controlling this river. It will flow the way it flows. And there will be long stretches of easy flowing, sometimes imperceptible movement of the river. Other stretches there will be gentle rapids. Other stretches there will be tumultuous rapids. Other stretches there will be a cliff-hanging waterfall. Other stretches it'll be twists and turns, meandering and seemingly going back and forth and back and forth. And other stretches will be so thin that it freezes over. Other stretches will be emerging with the ocean. There's no controlling the river. So to be in the flow of life is to let go an agenda, is to let go ideas about what I want for my life. What I want that I believe is good is to let go. Going with the flow is is an act of courage. It's to enter in to the flow of what is happening, the flow that is happening, the river as it's flowing in the moment, as it's happening. Enter into that flow, enter into the flow of what is happening, and to be steady in what is happening now, to be open to what is happening now, whether it's a smooth section of the river or whether it's a rapid or a waterfall, to be non-resistant to what is happening, to not be in the egoic rootedness of bringing the measuring stick to everything that's happening and measuring what is happening as good, bad, right or wrong, to drop from the conditioning of judging good, bad, right or wrong as the conditioning of the mind that is steeped in what is good and bad, right and wrong, which is different for all of us. What is good for one person, somebody else thinks is bad. As we drop, as we open to recognizing these beliefs, many of which live invisibly until we begin to inquire, and the beliefs drop, the measuring stick drops, and there's more and more simply an experience of what is unfolding, what is flowing, what is happening. An experience without the disturbance of judging what is happening as good or bad. An experience that does not react to what is happening with clinging to what is perceived to be good and resisting and rejecting and fighting with what is perceived to be bad. There is an experience of what is happening. And in place of the measuring stick, there is the presence of awareness that is infused with clarity and discernment that can experience what is happening and see the truth of what is happening, to see into the heart of what is happening, to see that in the heart of every happening, there is only love expressing in many diverse ways. There's only love expressing. There's only source expressing in that moment. Source expressing as a gentle flow, source expressing as a gentle rapids, or source expressing as a tumultuous rapids. It's always only source expressing. Life is only ever source, love expressing. And a discernment, when we are open to what is happening, not judging what is happening, discerning that love is expressing. There's a discernment of, if you like, whether the love that is expressing freely as connection, beauty, togetherness, belonging, kindness, compassion, or whether love is expressing under the pressure of beliefs at play, beliefs along the lines of, this is wrong, this is bad, this is not what I want. Love is only ever expressing, either freely or love is expressing under pressure. And more the discernment is available to discern the difference. And when it is discerned that what is expressing is love under pressure, what a moment ago looked wrong didn't look like love, looked like something to fight, to avoid, to reject, to push away, to numb, to get rid of. What looked a moment ago as something wrong, when it's discerned as an expression of love under pressure, the reactivity of wanting to fight, get rid of, dissolves, and the discernment that is available begins to reveal how that love under pressure can be released from that pressure. In fact, when we see, in the moment we see that our own expression as an individual is that there is a reaction, which is an expression of our nature, our love, under the pressure of our own beliefs. The moment we see the beliefs for what they are, a misunderstanding, a resistance to what is happening, and not trusting what is happening. When we see the beliefs for what they are, those beliefs start to dissolve. And the love that was previously under pressure starts to unfold as kindness, compassion, understanding, connectivity, belonging, clarity, and creative potential that serves the flow of the river, that serves being with what is happening, being with what is happening without judging what is happening as good, bad, right, or wrong. And the closer we get to the ocean, the closer and closer and closer, more immediately, we know that what we are is the ocean. We are not separate waves, we are not separate rivers, we are one body, we are one consciousness, we are one oceanic presence of love. And the experience of the oceanic presence, the unified field that life is, that is known in the sensory sense as love. The experience is so fulfilling, so nurturing, so resonant that there is no dissatisfaction. There's no dissatisfaction at all. How can there be? We are discovering that all we ever wanted, which was to know ourselves as love, is happening. So the questioner in the beginning of the question, that sense, what do I do to stay in the flow? Do I relax? Even there, it's so much simpler than that. No, don't do anything. To stay in the flow, don't do anything. Recognize what is happening. And don't even take what is happening as evidence that, oh, things are going my way. Things are going the way I've always wanted them to go. Because there is a return to wanting to control the flow. Enjoy. Be open to what is happening. Be open to what is happening. And the lack of resistance to what is happening transforms what is happening into what we've always wanted. A recognition that what is happening is an expression of love. And when it doesn't look like a pure expression of love, it's still in the love under pressure moments. There's this discernment to see into the heart of what is really going on, and that pressure begins to release. There is no part of the river that doesn't deliver our true nature. There's no part of the river that is not supremely enjoyable. So that's the flow. And I invite you to consider life is always flowing in the way you want it to flow. I'll see you soon.